So, Deltarune is basically only a week from today. And everyone, including myself, can't be more excited. Honestly, many of us have been waiting for years for these chapters to come out, including me. And this will be my last video before chapters 3 and 4. I will be releasing a video when the games come out, obviously. But seeing that'll be a lot of work for me next week, I do want to make a little more relaxed video. Just talk about my hopes for the game, as many people have already. I just want to do mine, just to put in my hat in the ring, I guess. So, hey there, I'm Benefit, and this is my hopes and dreams for Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. So I'm really just going to start with a nice and easy one. I do really want Deltarune to have great music. And music is honestly, in a lot of cases, what makes or breaks a game. You kind of remember a game a lot from its music. Think of, I don't know, your favorite games. You probably associate the music with it. Types of gameplay experiences you've had, if you know what I mean. Sorry if the mic got really quiet there. I moved it by accident. But music does keep audiences really interested and compelled to play the game. Like, if I think about games like Mario, like I think of like Scamper Shores from Bowser's Fury. Like, I love that song. It's so good, and I remember my first time playing through it, obviously. Deltarune, of course, Field of Hopes and Dreams. You probably remember going through the area for the first time, remember playing that. Now, I do have not a singular doubt in my mind that Deltarune will have good music, as Chapters 1 and 2 have only good tracks, with not a single one that I wouldn't listen to, that aren't just sound effects, like Weird Birds, you know? That's a great song. But Undertale and Deltarune are really known for their great music, so I do have full faith that the next couple of chapters will have great music, for whether it be overworld themes, secret bosses. And currently my favorite track in the game is like the World Revolving or like Queen's Battle theme. They're both so good, man. And they are amazing. But I don't want them to be my favorite for long, because I want chapters 3 and 4 to top that. And to just give me songs that I could listen to forever, you know? And I'm just excited for the new songs, because we've been sitting on this chapter 2 soundtrack for 4 years now. And I'm ready for some new stuff, you know, so I have much more to say about music, that's all I have to say, but let's move on to some of the bigger topics now. So let's move on to gameplay. Gameplay is weird, because Deltarune has already basically shown a lot of its gameplay, through chapters 1 and 2, obviously. I know some people don't think the battle system is great, but honestly, I don't mind. It's not like a big deal for me, and battles don't really last that long other than boss fights, so I don't really lose interest, since battles can take 1 to 2 turns if you know what you're doing. However, I do still hope the battle system gets some sort of upgrade, as I do feel like there should be a change to it in some chapters 3 and 4, because the cracks might start to show and it might start getting boring, especially if the chapters are getting longer. I hope, I do hope that maybe our party members will learn some new abilities, such as Susie because Susie still only has Rune Buster. I'm not counting Ultimate Heal, by the way. And Ralsei only has Heal, Prayer, and Pacify, and I really think we need some new abilities. Because I feel like their magic menus do feel a bit empty, and they really should need some. Also, I do know that they get more abilities in secret bosses, but I'm talking about the whole combat system. And also, did really anyone use those? I never touched them, and if you did, were they any useful? Please inform me. But anyways, moving on from that, I do feel like Susie and Ralsei could both use some other spell. Maybe Ralsei gets a similar ability like Chris's Courage in Chapter 1. Speaking of which, why doesn't Courage appear as an option in the Queen battle? I don't know. Does anyone know? Please tell me. Is it because Chris now has to toast, I guess, to progress in Pacifist? But that's how I currently feel about the battle system, but that's not only obviously what gameplay is about. Of course, there is also the overworld in Deltarune, and mini-games part of the overworld. Now, Deltarune Chapter 3 does look like it has a lot of mini-games and gimmicks with the rhythm game and other things. I like that weird one where you have to block the balls or something. I don't really get that one, man. But I'm very happy, because I feel like Chapter 3 could really end up being the best chapter, just for its gameplay switch-ups. The Chapter 3 could feel really unique, and it's also just great. It fits with a TV Dark World, multiple channels, so you just switch through them, and obviously they're going to have different gameplay styles and different mini games to differentiate them. It's like super. It just works perfectly, honestly. I do though have one worry for Chapter 3 currently, and a lot of the rooms we've seen have only looked like a rectangle, and I'm a bit worried that it's not just like a straight shot, you know. Because one of the great things about Deltarune that I do like is there is quite a bit of exploration, even though it's kind of a linear world. Like, there are different places you can go for certain items, seeing NPCs and stuff like that. And I'm just worried Chapter 3 will just be, like, linear and focusing on, like, new gameplay things and the plot and whatever. Now, Chapter 4, I'm going to kind of skip over in this section, and just a warning, by the way. So, I'm just going to keep on speculating for gameplay for other stuff and Chapter 3 some more, because Chapter 4, we've only seen them, like, running and climbing. I don't know what that's really about, but we'll see. I mean, now, kind of switching gears here. It's kind of about Chapter 3. It's kind of not. It's more on the general side. No, it's not. It's about Chapter 3. So, a lot of people have to talk about the Shadow Mantle, and I have been curious myself. Especially with the new expansion sweepstakes heavily implying the Shadow Mantle dialogue, you know, the no blank, no crystal. Perhaps if you had the blank, you would be able to get the Shadow Crystal. And we're definitely gonna need it in some way. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people think that to get the Shadow Mantle, you'll have to do something with multiple files. And I'm gonna be honest here. I don't want multiple save files to be a requirement to beating secret bosses or beating the game and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem good. It just gets boring. Like, imagine, like, repeating playthroughs, doing speedruns, stuff like that. You have to play through, like, the game 1.5 times. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me personally. Like, what, you need to play up to Chapter 3 or something to get the Shadow Mantle from something else and transfer it over. Personally, I'm not a fan of that. I don't like the sound of doing save file things. And I do really feel like save files were meant to be a quality of life thing. As obviously in Undertale, they have a big implication of why you only have one save. But I feel like since in Deltarune, it's just for quality of life since it's not as big to the plot, you know? Because saving was a big part of Undertale, and I don't know if it'll be a big part of Deltarune too, because I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense in my personal opinion. Now, I do want to talk about a different gameplay section, being the Light World. As we'll probably get changed to it in every chapter, as we have seen with chapters 1 and 2. They're different, obviously. I do want to be able to see new things in it, obviously. I want Onion Sans, or just Onion, their quest to continue. See more of Pizza Pants, obviously. Now, you know that, like, barrier, though? Like, the cop barrier thing that blocks off the rest of Hometown? Like, some people think that it's, like, a whole barrier blocking off another part of Hometown. I really don't. I think it's just like a little area maybe for like the festival area, and of course I could be wrong with this, but I really think it's just like a little screen for the festival. And I honestly hope Hometown doesn't get expanded. I feel like the Light World segments like are good, that they're quick and easy. Like, you can get through them within like pretty quickly, even reading the dialogue, and I like that. And I don't want to look out for so many tasks to do after a chapter. You have to remember to do this, 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 and this. Because right now you really only have to remember to do like 3 things. And I feel like the whole point of Hometown is just that it remains the same. Like, after like a long Dark World adventure, you're still like home, you know, in your neighborhood, and you just kind of talk to the NPCs. I also don't even know how they would do more residents in Hometown, since if you think about it, a lot of Deltarune's NPCs that are just like kind of around are from Undertale, and they don't really have any more Undertale characters. Like, let me think. They got like Pyrope they haven't used, but they could just appear in like the diner later on, so who knows. But of course the second half of the time could be all new characters. But I kind of like Hometown just the way it is. I don't feel like it'll be expanded, and I don't really want it to be expanded. Of course, these are all my opinions. Like, if you want it to be expanded, that's great for you, obviously. So the last point I have about gameplay is new playable characters. And honestly, personally, I don't want any new playable characters in Deltarune. I know in my last video, which you should go check out by the way, talked about the potential of Caddy being a playable character and what that means, or just Caddy's role in general. But I don't think we need more playable characters. It's just, like, I'm not saying they don't work, obviously, but I think the rest of the cast will just play like Birdley's role, where they're just in the Dark World, because I feel like new characters are a little pointless. Like, the whole point of Noelle is that there's the weird route, right? And you, like, explored her to do the weird route. And I really can't see you doing that with any other characters but Noelle. And I like it just being Noelle for the weird route. I feel like it doesn't make sense to do all these multiple characters when you should, like, I feel like you're just, like, taking advantage of Noelle. Especially with her being able to break games and stuff like that, having all that lore. I'm not saying it would be bad, like, it's not a big deal. Like, personally, like, I'd be fine with it. But I feel like I'd rather it not, just because I feel like it makes Noelle feel more important. But that is all I have to say about gameplay. Like, I didn't even talk about, like, soul transformations. Like, I have some more stuff to say, but I did also make a whole video on soul transformations, which did really well. Thank you all. But let's move on to probably the next and last topic. So, the story! The thing everyone's been theorizing about for the last 7 years since Chapter 1's release. And story is obviously the most compelling part about Undertale and Deltarune. As you really do care about these characters, obviously there's a reason we've all sticked around for these years, you know? And there's so many things to talk about story. Like, there's so many, endless topics, right? I'm gonna really try to keep it short. Just things like I feel strong about, you know? So let's start with the first point, being the knight. Now, of course, this is not a prediction video. I don't care who the knight is particularly. I've made that pretty clear. Like, it's fun to speculate. Like, I'm not saying don't speculate. Like, I speculate myself. But there's no one I feel attached to that needs to be the knight. Like, I don't feel strong if, like, Chris or the mayor is the knight. Like, I feel like either way it works. We just don't have that many details on it that's like, if Toby Fox makes Chris the knight, it'll be terrible writing. Or, like, the mayor the knight, it'll be terrible writing. Like, I don't feel that strongly about it, really. Like, I'm not attached. I feel like some people are. And I have a lot of faith in Toby Fox. Like, either or it'll work, man. Like, we don't have that much info on the knight confirming who it is. And when it comes to writing, and, like, because obviously I've stuck around in this community for a long time, so I'm sure it'll work well. Like, and I'm saying about a 50-50 split, whether Chris really is the knight. I am more leaning to, like, not, I don't know, just like a vibe, but, so maybe more like 49-51, like, it's barely a lead. So, like, either way, like, I'm not a big knight, like, I don't think the knight's, like, I don't know, I don't think who the knight is the most important thing. Obviously, it's fun to speculate about, like, it's the most exciting thing to speculate about. To me, though, I don't think it makes or breaks the story on who the knight is. I do want to talk about Deltarune's whole tone. And honestly, I'm more of a guy who wants towards a fun tone. Now, of course, I'm not saying I don't want dark themes or dark things to happen in the game. Because, like, in, like, Undertale, like, the pacifist route is pretty fun. Like, it's funny, there's witty dialogue, everything's great. But there's also the True Lab, and the True Lab is super dark. Like, it's so dark. And it's really great. Like, honestly, Undertale's a perfect mix of, like, dark themes and fun themes. Like, it's just a fun game. It's a great game, story-wise. I honestly don't think the game will turn out to be, like, some time loop or something that we can't do anything about. Like, I really do think it'll have some fun ending where you'll be happy. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I think it's compelling, and it would fit well. I just don't feel like it's going to be written that way, personally. But I do think Snowgrave will be a lot darker, obviously, as it already is. But it still will end similarly. Like, it's gonna be one ending, guys. The question mark is not like a, is there more than one ending? I think it's more like a, like, Toby Fox being in the person of seeing that. Like, it's sort of like a reaction, like, what? Only one ending? But I think just the difference between Snowgrave and regular will just be, like, the outcome and how the mood, the tone of the game is, you know, at the end. Like, Snowgrave will be more depressing. But, like, pacifist / neutral will just be, like, fun or whatever, you know? Now, I do hope at least Chapter 4, or any of the chapters, give us a big confirmation or something big. Like, if Chris is the knight or not the knight. Because we've waited so long for like answers to some of these questions, and we need answers to some of them. Like if we're just sitting in the same spot, like, I wonder who the knight could be. Is it Chris? Is it not Chris? At the end, like, I'm just gonna be like, cut it done, you know, like, it's like. But I just hope we get some confirmations and new things to chew on. Like, I don't want the same theories we've had since the beginning of Chapter 2 and mid-Chapter 2 and the end of Chapter 2. When Chapter 2 came out originally, a lot of the theories of Chapter 1 were debunked or completely confirmed from the release, which is great. I hope the same thing happens in Chapters 3 and 4, where we could just move on, you know? Like, D&D theory is not a thing anymore, because it's been pretty much confirmed that the Dark Worlds are a real thing and not just in Susie and Chris's imagination. And yeah, I really hope we get some new stuff to chew on going into Chapter 5, like to just tie us over, like so we can wait another couple years. Like, if we're still sitting on similar things, I don't know. I just don't know like how long it'll take, you know, to stick around. Moreover, on this point, similarly, I do really hope we get some confirmation of Gaster being behind the scenes or not, like if Gaster's in it or not, because I'm a little sick of just expecting Gaster's appearance. Like, I just hope it's confirmed at some point. Like, is Gaster there or not? Is Gaster this? Is Gaster that? I feel like Gaster really needs to show his face by like Chapter 4, since we're going to be like over halfway through the game. So we've got to have like some hints towards it, man. Like, I know we already have some hints, but like just bigger hints. It's just like Gaster could be anywhere, and I just want to like narrow it down more. Like, I'm a little sick of just speculating in Gaster, because if you think about it, we've had no knowledge. Like, we don't have that much knowledge of Gaster, man. We will have a game and a half after Chapters 3 and 4 where we have basically no knowledge of Gaster. Undertale doesn't give us that much. A lot of it's speculation. Like, all we know is that he fell into his own creation, shatter across time and space. Practically all we know about Wingding Gaster that's confirmed. And he speaks in Wingdings, I guess. So yeah, I'm just a little sick of Gaster. And I really hope he, like, something, like, makes it obvious that he's behind the scenes or something. Or there's something more going on that's connected to Gaster. Like, it's just all the speculation around Gaster is tiring me out a little. So, let's talk about the friend cat / Mike cat real quick. This is a really fun theory that honestly I didn't really believe at first. I did see the resemblance to the Cheshire cat within the image_friend, but other than that, I didn't feel like friend cat theory was that strong. However, Toby Fox really has been referencing image_friend with cats, such as Deltarune.com/rarecats if you don't know. And honestly, I'm a believer in it now. Like, it's been like, just wow, you know, just wow. There's so much about it now. I honestly do like this theory a lot, and I do hope it gets fulfilled. As a cat doctor really could work well, like it would be cool to see. We haven't really seen many animal darkeners, like, you know, like animal crackers, I guess. I guess the kings are a little like animal-like adjacent. And the tasks are obviously, sorry, I'm just naming animals now, what the heck. But yeah, I feel like, oh, I guess we've already had cat darkeners. I don't know. I just did. It's so funny. This is not part of the script, but it's funny. And that's about as much as I have on the story. I thought I'd have more, but I really don't. I do just want to talk about the weird route real quick. So the weird route, I think, will have a lot darker of a turn. Similar to No Mercy and Undertale, it'll be a lot darker. It'll be less fun, like, to enjoy. And the weird route probably will change a lot to the ending, that it'll almost feel like another ending. Like, I do feel like when Toby Fox says there's one ending, there is one ending. I think what he means with this is that the ending to the outcome to the game is the exact same, but it's really the vibe, the tone, and how it feels. Like, it'll all be different. Like, that'll feel so different, but, like, the outcome and the end is the same. I do hope Chapters 3 and 4 will get more stuff on the weird route. I don't know. I just feel like we're just going to be speculating that Chapter 5 will have a weird route at that point, you know? I'm really excited to see where this plot point continues, so let's see what happens. And that is everything I have to say. As I mentioned, this will be my last video before Chapters 3 and 4. And on June 4th, I am planning to upload my Chapter 3 playthrough. So, if you want to see it, subscribe maybe. just plug in for the first time, I guess. But yeah, you don't have to. Just if you want to know what is gonna happen. I'm going to edit down these videos, as I think a lot of people will just upload the raw footage. Like, I want to make it special and more personal. And I will be uploading Chapter 4 June 5th, like the next day. So Chapter 3 will be the first day, Chapter 4 will be the next day. This video doesn't have a lot of editing, obviously, because it's meant to be more laid back. And I really can't wait for the next chapters. And I will see you all then. So, farewell and goodbye.